Well, Stephen King is having a good year. A man joins a game show in which contestants allowed to go anywhere in the world are pursued by hunters hired to kill them. I never read the book, and I've only seen clips from the Arnold version of this story. Heard from a lot of people that adaptation of The Running Man is wildly different compared to the book. And this one seems to be a more faithful adaptation. Let me know in the comments for people who have read the book and have seen this newest film. This review is coming out before you guys have probably seen it, but still, later on this week. Let me know if it's more accurate. And Stephen King is having a fantastic year when it comes to adaptations from his previous original work. My goodness. Speaking of artists who are just great, Edgar Wright is somebody I look forward to when I hear their name and they are going to be directing something. Part of the reason why Edgar is so beloved is his style, his stamp on cinema. Talk about Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Baby Driver. It all has a certain style behind it. Kind of want to start with the negatives. This is the most standard Edgar Wright movie I think we've ever gotten. I mean that as a compliment and a critique. The compliment is that this is an entertaining, action-heavy film with a terrific performance from Glen Powell. He is a leading man. It's just a fact. Right in the first shot, you immediately buy into the motivation of a man, a husband, father, trying to do right for his family and get them out of this terrible situation. But Richards represents the everyday man, a person who's gotten pushed down a little too hard, somebody who wants to stick up for people, gets sidelined, even when he does the right thing. This world takes place in 2025. Mind you, this book was written decades ago. Really feels pretty relevant, if you ask me. For some people, they might look at this film and go, it's a little too political for me. And what I would say to them is, okay, there's the door. If you want to be closed-minded, because you cannot deny how relevant, and I don't mean to get too political in my review, but I will for 2 seconds. This movie paints a very dramatized, but also not really, depiction of what America is doing, what it's all about. Capitalism, smaller people are pushed down so the higher people, the richer people, the people in government can rule on. And what a time for a movie like this to come out on a week that is so monumental for our country. I don't know. I get that for some people, they might want to just go to a movie for entertainment, but I at least admire Edgar Wright's attempt in a way, in a story that kind of feels organic, because we are literally seeing this happen in our country. And what we're seeing is obviously not a show that is putting people in dramatic situations and having them die in front of the whole world for pure entertainment. But the idea of misinformation, you never really know who to trust, what source, that's all pretty realistic. Also, how the government might be corrupt seems a little realistic too. For that, I admire and really love what Edgar was going for. And what else do I love? The performances. Glen Powell, as I already mentioned, is great. You believe the physicality in his performance, but everyone else. Coleman Domingo is pretty much the Hunger Games host, the Running Man host for the game show. He's witty, he's quippy, he's snappy, he's everything you'd want Coleman Domingo to be in a role like this. And Josh Brolin plays the main antagonist with a perfect grinning smile that you can't help but go, there's a reason why you were cast as Thanos. You can tell I had a pretty decent time with this film. However, what does hold me back, to go back into the negatives, is the pacing. The movie is about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and unfortunately you start to feel that in the third act. The concept of this film is simple. A man running for his family is actually running for the world, to be a symbol, and he meets so many different people. You meet this family, then you meet Michael Cera in a Home Alone spin-off movie for 2 seconds. Love that subplot. Then all of a sudden, to kind of make sure they paint the message of the film even harder, he meets this girl on the freeway. Now, I'm not downplaying her performance. I just think the story element and where Edgar wanted us to feel the impact of that element of the narrative, it kind of just lost me. I already understood what the movie was trying to say about the current climate of the government, how the world sucks, how the government sucks, and how we all need to be better. Just felt very heavy-handed in that specific subplot. And that was the first time I checked my phone to see how much time was left, and there was about 30 to 40 minutes. That's not a good sign. It really plays as a fun, standard action drama comedy. And for Edgar Wright, I kind of expected a bit more. He does a really unique thing when it comes to his pacing. He's able to not just keep up with the pacing of the characters, but the editing, the motion of the story. You feel that energy all throughout from beginning to end. And I'm not saying you don't feel the Edgar Wright energy, you definitely do at times, especially in that final shot. But trimming this movie down to about an hour and 50-ish minutes probably could have helped with that lack of energy in the third act. I'm sad to say I thought this was going to be one of the best movies of the year. It just turned out to be a good movie. Still, you got some good action, good humor, good themes, and if you've been excited for this one, I still recommend it for the theatrical experience. Solid 7 out of 10. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this review. It really means a lot. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, but most of all, do not forget to be blessed.